Get a hold of yourselves.
The left chief has arrived! Grand Preceptor.
Left Chief.
Please, Left Chief. We are all farmers. We beg you to help us.
It is your duty to help us!
Be quiet! Be quiet! Clan Elder, tell everybody to stop yelling.
Silence, everyone! Let us all listen to what Left Chief has to say.
An unfair judgment on someone is unforgivable. My Bai clan fellowmen, for generations, you and your ancestors have made boundless contributions to the state of Qin. As an agricultural state, we are all very much aware of the brave and selfless sacrifices you have all made as farmers. And for centuries, the Bai clan have dedicated their entire lives to providing the seasonal harvests of this state. And now, 34 members of this great clan was slaughtered by the prince. If the government does nothing about this, will the Mengxi and Bai clans be pacified? The royal family will be punished like everyone else, in accordance with our new law. An arrest will be issued.
The prince will have to pay for what he's done!
As ordered by Left Chief Wei Yang!
As ordered by Left Chief, as capital punishment cannot be applied to a minor, he must therefore accept the following punishments. First, the prince must be in full mourning and pay his respects to the murdered victims. Second, the prince is required to pay for all funeral costs and to provide a generous consolation fee to all the bereaved families. Third, all lands owned by the prince will be confiscated and 10 years' worth of his salary will be deducted. And fourth, the prince must write a public letter of apology for the crime that he has committed.
The prince's youth is not an excuse for his wrongdoing!
The Mohism debate shall now commence, everyone. May we summon our headmaster, Shangli Qin, to begin his speech.
Our debate today aims to spread good and to eliminate the evil in men. As the king of Qin, Yin Qiliang has a different viewpoint. I respectfully ask the Mohist priest here to judge whose side is truly right or wrong. So now, what argument do you have against me before these fair young men of Mohism?
Just one. If your faith aims to spread good and eliminate evil, then why do you have slaves? I respectfully would like to know.
Yin Qiliang. Don't you know who he is?
I don't care who he is, because having slaves is an old political power system that has to stop.
Yin Qiliang, stop raising your voice! Yin Qiliang, stop talking nonsense!
Looks like your young priests are not as fair as you claim they are.
Yin Qiliang. Jingnan worked as Wei Yang's personal guard. But he has betrayed the Mohist faith. He was under the Mohist order to serve and to spy on that cruel government official. But when he was ordered to kill Wei Yang, he not only turned his back on us, he revealed it to Wei Yang as well. Then he trespassed these hills to beg for mercy for Wei Yang's life. Mohist law decrees death by beheading the traitors.
Since Jingnan works as Wei Yang's official guard, he falls under the state laws too. This is precisely the reason why I came here, to explain the reform clearly. And if you still find the reform cruel and unfair, then I will willingly submit to your law, for I have failed as a head of state. If everyone has the right to ask the king about the state's affairs, is it not also fair to ask everyone here how you can sentence a good man without knowing the whole truth first? If Mohism teaches love for all men, Jingnan has learned it and has proven it well. Have him released, and I will take sole responsibility for his crime.
Bring Jingnan here to sit with us.
Thank you, Master Shangli. Now, Jingnan, accept my sincerest gratitude. Here.
Yin Qiliang, if your regime is not dictatorial, then why have you turned him against us? So he can spy on us and then find our camp?
You're a dictator! A scheming tyrant! You're a dictator! A scheming tyrant!
If that were truly my intention, then I would not need Jingnan for that. I would have simply marched in here, along with 200,000 soldiers.
Your words have just proven what you are capable of! You threatened the Mohist faith!
If you have no faith in my words, then let us all go back to Yeyang, where I can stand trial right in front of everyone.
There's no need for that. We have all the proof right here. You just want to return to Yuyang, so you can avoid punishment for your sins against the will of heaven. What more can you say to disprove your foul intentions?
What is your defense? Speak! What is your defense? Speak!
Bring out the convicts! There you see the headmaster and the right master of the crown prince. General Chan, as headmaster of the crown prince, has failed in his duty to educate him, which resulted in his unlawful killings. And today, in accordance with the new law of Qin, he shall be punished by rhinotomy and stripped of his titles and lands. As for Right Master Gong Sun Gu, who is also convicted of the same crime, he shall be punished by forced tattooing, stripped of his title and lands, and will be exiled to Longxi Hills.
Why? Why should they be punished that way? I don't understand. What they going to punish them for that?
Justice here.
This is out of here. I don't know.
Here? Now?
It's not
Come on. Let's get this done once and for all. Wei Yang! I will do this with my eyes wide open!
The Mohist invaders have arrived!
Prepare to defend the camp!
Grandfather! I'm over here!
Trespassers, what right do you have to come in here?
Forgive my intrusion, my dear old friend, Master Shangli. It's been a long while now.
Master Bai Li, we did not expect you here. Forgive my impudence.
We had to come here to explain something of importance. And if you will allow us, we would like to share it with you.
Mohist, sit down. Master Bai Li, join us. Master Bai Li, are you here to save your granddaughter?
We must put personal matters aside. Master Shangli, let us go by the rules of Mohism.
Very well. We shall resume the debate. Let us have Master Dengling do the questioning, being the victim.
So you were yelling that you are the invaders of the Mohist camp. May I ask why you said that? Have you been conspiring with this cold-blooded tyrant of Qin? Was your arrival part of the plan? Don't lie to us!
Master, I am Hu Ying, Chief Supervisor of Lord Bai's residence in Wei. This lady here is the daughter of Lord Bai Gui, Bai Shui, and the lady she is with is Mei Gu. The fire attack done against the Mohists at Yueyang was done by the Bais and no one else.
That's preposterous! The Bais are successful in trade. Mohists are scholars and mentors. They have nothing to do with each other.
How can there be nothing when a conflict of interest exists? Allow me to explain the issue, Master Dengling. The reason is quite clear. Qin happens to be the nearest state for us to do trade with, which was difficult at first. Since Qin was such a poor state, no merchant would even think of doing their trade around here. But now Qin is under a new reform. Slavery was abolished, agricultural lands were redistributed, and the use of the well-field system is applied. Now everyone can get to have their own land. Good deeds are being rewarded and evil deeds get punished. Qin has greatly improved. There is more energy and enthusiasm in both the state officials and the citizens. It also means that this is the best opportunity for us merchants to trade here. But sadly, the Mohists have failed to really see the whole situation. You can only see the reform as evil, as a route that can lead to an authoritarian regime. And you wish to kill these so-called tyrants. Now think about this. What if the Duke of Qin and Wei Yang managed to make the state prosper again until it finally regains its power? Would that not be good for the people? Even for merchants who wish to earn a profit here. If they get murdered, the state of Qin would fall back into destitution. So tell me, if you were in this merchant's shoes, would you not have done the same?
And how can a trader have a troop of elite swordsmen? Confess, minion! Who do they really serve?
The troops work for us. Our states are constantly at war. Most merchant clans always hire the services of many elite swordsmen. The Bais have traded in various states, and we also have to travel far and wide. We do not only have hundreds of swordsmen, but thousands of horse guards as well. Do you find that too surprising?
So if you have swordsmen, you should have openly challenged us instead. Why did you have to burn down the workshop and frame the Mohists?
We have no intention of offending the people of Mohist faith. We only wish to discourage anyone who poses as a threat to the heads of state. Regarding your losses when the iron workshop was burned down, my family would like to apologize and to pay some compensation for it.
Good. At least that matter's settled. So, Master Bai Li, what is the reason for your visit?
My dear friend, I have traveled for half of my life, constantly clinging to your mentor's concept of indiscriminate love. Everyone is my friend here. Without my help, how will my companions find this camp at Shenong Mountain? Anyhow, my mentor heard that you're facing a problem, and has asked me to bring this to the Mohist leader, so they can work this out together.
Thank you, Master Bai Li. Do not worry. I shall hand this to our leader myself.
Now that Yuyang matter is finally settled, let's continue with the political debate.
Apart from the punishments, we shall also be handing out rewards. Read them.
The law-abiding Bai Li village, who have devoted their lives to farming, shall receive a plaque of recognition for being the role models of the state. The deaths of their loved ones shall be remembered well during the reform of Qin and will be bestowed a noble title in death while serving an honorable duty, which will be passed on to their eldest offspring. Elder Patriarch Bai Ting, who fought for their justice, shall be ranked as most noble farmer. Bai Li village will be exempted from taxes for 3 years.
Elder Bai Ding. I will come to every funeral and pay tribute to each one of them. No, don't do that. Get up. Please, get up.
Left Chief, you've given hope to every farmer in these lands. The strike is over!
I will no longer accept visitors in here. And I will no longer be attending court.
Dismantle that.
The Qin folks are used to grudge wars, ending with serious casualties. Farmlands and water systems also get destroyed. If we do not apply the death sentence to the culprits, there will always be unrest and instability in this poor nation. The Mohis only know that over 700 convicts were executed by Wei River. But do you know how many people were actually involved in these local wars? Over 10,000! That's right. The death penalty was stated in the new law. But even when they were aware of that, they still kept on fighting their grudge wars, willfully violating the laws of the state. So do we turn a blind eye to that? You Mohis have your own students. Do you not have a set of rules to regulate how they should behave? We have to run a state. How could we not have the death penalty? Mohists are known to be strict and rigorous. Can you name at least one who didn't deserve execution?
Magistrate Zhao Kang, he did not deserve to die.
Tell us! What has Zhao Kang done? Tell us! Did he deserve to die?
Zhao Kang was an official of Old Qin. I had high hopes for him, so I made him the magistrate of Mei County. I never thought he would neglect his duty and let Mei County's turmoil spread across the state. Do Mohis think that Grand Masters are exempted from punishment? It would be unfair if the state executions only apply to common citizens and not to government officials as well.
Zhao Kang was opposed to Wei Yang's field system at that time. So many fields were rashly destroyed. So many farmers displaced. They had nothing left and nowhere else to go. So they fought with the other farmers. That was why Zhao Kang was opposed to it, and you killed him for that?
Abolishing the well field system and setting field boundaries is favorable to any common farmer, because they're now entitled to have their own lands. I'm afraid you have confused our irrigation project with the ongoing grudge war among the clans at Mei County. I suggest you go up the hills and hear what the farmers there have to say about it.
Yin Qiliang, I hear certain books must be burned under the new law. Is there any truth to this?
That law is still subject for discussion. Better not include that in our debate here.
If it isn't applied yet, then all the more it should be included. Must we wait until Wei Yang orders to have these books burned and end all progress before we raise our protest?
Whatever you decide later on must be based on respect for basic human rights. Wei Yang's reform will uproot human progress. We're all civilized beings, and his ways are too manipulative and cold-blooded.
For so many years, Qin was so deep in poverty, Shandong scholars would never set foot in here. After his reform was applied, our economy has improved, since scholars and merchants from various states would come here. However, certain people from Shandong would arrive here, claiming to study or to do trade here, when they were in fact spies ordered to disrupt the reform and stop the progress we've been making. They have written poems and books to spread more conflict and confusion to the public. They would even conspire with the Grand Masters in Qin to destroy the people's faith in the government. Unfortunately, all of the states are going through a constant war, so quelling rumors and burning prohibited books are the only options we have. How does that uproot human progress then? Qin follows the legalist ruling theory. It's where reform came from. Are you saying legalism is not a civilized philosophy, and only Wang Dao's theories are?
Yin Qiliang, Wei Yang will mark the end of our civilization. Do not be his accomplice.
If you eliminate Wei Yang, you can still set things right.
And if you don't, we will rebel against the state. Execute Wei Yang.
Execute Wei Yang, or we will revolt! Execute Wei Yang, or we will revolt!
So you all want me to be rid of Wei Yang?
It will not only help you save the state, it will also rebuild your name as the true head of Qin.
I came here willingly, because I've always known the Mohis to be seekers of the truth and saviors of our land. But all I see before me now are men who can't distinguish lies from the truth and are nothing more than rank-dragging hypocrites!
How dare you insult us, you ruthless tyrant!
How are we rank-dragging? And how are we hypocrites?
We are starting to reap the harvests of Qin's new laws, which we all owe to none other than Wei Yang. Wei Yang is a simple man, who only aims to save the state and the people. He's always fair and impartial to anyone. He would face any challenge and overcome every obstacle. For every law he conceives, he has the foresight and the courage to see it through. So tell me then, what have the Mohists done so far to help our starving state, apart from gathering rumors from the wrong sources and secluding yourselves up here away from the people you aim to help? You've branded yourselves the seekers of truth, the saviors of the land, yet you have achieved nothing. You are bound by your limited views to retain a system that no longer works. If there is a real savior among us, it would be Wei Yang. We should all be grateful to him. And now you want me to get rid of him? Have him executed? Isn't that dragging a man down? Doesn't that make you hypocrites?
Mohists, draw your swords! End this tyrant's life!
Kill the tyrant and his worthless life! Kill the tyrant and his worthless life!
Masters, don't be unfair! Please don't hurt Liang!
I appreciate your help, my lady. But then this affair has nothing to do with the Wei merchants.
Duke Xiao, I stand with you on this. The world should be rid of these overbearing hypocrites.
I agree. I will defend the righteous, even the Duke of Qin.
There is no need for bloodshed. If you wish to take my life, then I will be willing to die for the state.
Well then, you heard him! Execute him now!
Qinhuali! Are you not going to stop this madness?
Well done. You truly are a valiant king, and it appears that you have made great changes in our lives. Am I right?
Qinhuali, was this all intentional? Did you plan that from the start?
Now, my friend, I had to see what sort of man our king really is. You should already know me by now.
It is an honor to meet the Mohist headmaster.
I've been traveling around the lands for decades, but I never thought that I would be graced by a true king's visit here. Shangli Qin, have the debate stage put aside, then set up a banquet for us. We're having a feast to honor the Duke of Qin and our guests.
Long live the headmaster! Long live the headmaster!
Headmaster,
Xuanqi, the reason I came up with this debate was to see how sincere he was after what you've done for him, my child.
what I've done?
Yes. You knew you would be punished, yet you still decided to bring this man over here anyway. Back at Shangtong Cave, you gave strong and fair arguments. And when his life was threatened, I overheard how you tried so hard to defend him. Did you think that I would fail to notice that? Huh?
Oh, Headmaster!
The wine. Honorable guests, friends, and students. From this day onwards, Both the Mohists and the government won't be at odds against each other. We will now be united. Therefore, we'll visit the Qin cities and counties to learn about the reform. Here's to the valor, to the Duke of Qin and his people, to Wei Yang's reform efforts, and to all our honorable guests who have come from afar. Cheers! Long live! Cheers!
Left Chief, if you're worried about His Majesty, I can go over there.
Wait. That's supposed to be my duty. I should go there.
Better finish your meal first. Then you can go.
All right.
Eat on your way there. And bring 100 men along. See how he is. Then have word sent back here.
Yes, sir.
Left Chief. We've settled the farmers' unrest, and help has been sent to His Majesty. What else is troubling you?
Tell me honestly. Should the reform continue, or should I put a stop to it?
Why do you have to ask that, Left Chief? The reform has already done so much good to the state.
Are you still troubled about the former General Ying?
I'm sure he's already realized that his punishment is better than causing turmoil. He's a man of honor. General, the princess wishes to see you.
Send her away.
But she brought a message from the Grand Duchess.
I don't care.
But, General Ying...
It's Master Ying. I'm no longer a general, and you'll have nothing to do with the government from now on. Starting today, no one is allowed to enter or leave the household. I will kill any of you who tries to talk to any of them. Am I being clear?
Yes, Master. Forgive me, Your Highness, but he refuses to see anyone. Please leave at once.
But I...
Your Highness, Grand Duchess, the issue regarding the prince has now been settled, and I appreciate your full support.
Come, Wei Yang. Have a seat with us.
Thank you, Grand Duchess.
Wei Yang, I do not wish to interfere with state affairs, but I do want to ask you something. Now that Yin Qian is dismissed from his post, and Gong Sun Gu is exiled to Longxi, The remaining noblemen and statesmen now realize they can be punished as well. Are you not afraid?
I am not. The most difficult part of the reform lies in gaining the trust of the common folk, while the most dangerous part of it lies in the cooperation of the statesmen. To completely reform a state, one must take every step without fear, as Lao Tzu once said. If a person does not fear death, why threaten him with death? Borrowing that concept, I would say, if a reformist does not fear death, why threaten him with it?
Stop mentioning death like that. It's bad luck.
A brilliant mind with nerves of steel. That's good.
Left Chief, I can recommend you a very able guard.
Thank you, but I still have Jingnan. He's coming back.
You can have 2 guards.
One is good enough.
So stubborn.
I apologize for my daughter's brashness. She can be quite a handful.
She is just outspoken and brave, Your Majesty.
But she is still a child. And she can learn so much from you.
I'm very flattered.
I do not say that just to flatter. Since the prince failed to have a good teacher, perhaps the princess will do better with you.
Your Majesty flatters me. I must go now.
Your Majesty, I'm sorry for letting you down.
Hey, Bo, please get up from there. There's no need for that. Anyway, how are your legs now?
All better.
Hey, Bo. This is Master Bai Li's granddaughter, Xuan Qi. Remember her?
Yes, I'm pleased to see you again.
The pleasure is mine, sir. I'm glad you're safe.
Huh. Hey, Bo, Jingnan, you should both head back to Yeyang. I'll stay for 2 or 3 more days.
You're heading back? Don't you have work to do?
The Mohis will soon be visiting Qin, so I should accompany them, right?
Oh, Jingnan, you should head back there. Your Majesty, let me remain with you.
Very well. Jingnan, head back there, and tell Left Chief to hold off the challenging issues until I return.
I made you a simple meal. You hungry?
I am. Let's try it.
Oh, be careful, Your Majesty. It's still hot.
Delicious. I'll need one more helping after this.
Why must you speak just like a villager?
What's wrong with that? A villager has a wife and a stone house. How does that poem go again?
A fire pit for the winter, and spring comes.
And spring comes with what?
Spring comes with tears.
That sounds bad. Why would spring come with tears?
During winter, they had warmth, yet no food to eat.
That is tearful. No wonder Confucius didn't add that among his classics.
That's what's wrong with being a villager.
Maybe back then, but not anymore, right? Now they always have food to eat.
Eat slowly. Had enough?
One more, please.
Very well.
清水清为水黄，是谁泛舟五湖上？万骑女儿一目相，挽不住西山追斜阳。
天苍苍地茫茫，是谁暗夜唱清腔？花旦跟着老生走，一般妩媚，一般悲凉。
望眼边关金儿上马匹战役，
今生无缘，今生别来生，老槐树下，还等你。
四海纵横奔不将，风起云飞扬，四海纵横奔不将，悬崖勒马的是将，悬崖不勒马的是王。悬崖不勒马的是